So that's what I mainly need help on.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna go through how that's done now.
Hmm.
Okay. Let me open up the
Yeah, we're
thing. Hold on.
only looking at section A, and then there's
Mm-hmm.
4 problems.
All right. Okay, there we go. All right, so let me open up the problems as well. So let's start with the notes, right? Okay. Um,
Hmm.
okay, let's go to the first
Yep, it's like
part.
notes that's supposedly supposed to go with the book thing.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right, let's do it like this. So, okay, and here we go. So this is the first question. Two when it comes to data, there are two main types, right? So let's go to the
Hmm.
first page of your notes. Now, the idea here is that all types of data they fall into these two main categories, and they already mentioned what these are. Let's take a look at the blanks, though. Okay. Um, I think at the
Hmm.
moment they are alternative names. Okay. I am
Oh.
thinking, yeah, I'm thinking something like that. Okay, now if you look here, let's put this on the board now. Okay, now I want to give you a clue here. All right, so the clue is let's take a look at this, and that's the opposite for that. Okay, and similarly,
Hmm.
let's take a look at this and go. This goes here. All right, now let's
Hmm.
okay, what I would like to think of this in terms of the sciences because a lot of the time when we do statistics, it's not just in math, right? So the one
Yeah.
okay, so here's what I would ask right now. Let's say that you're looking into a lake, all right? So all right,
Hmm.
so the idea here is
Yep.
let's say you're gonna look at the trout in the lake. So lake trout, right? So
Hmm.
what are the things that you can kind of measure? Or what are the things that you can say that, not measure. What are the things that you can use to categorize a trout? So give me all the things you can possibly use to categorize a trout.
Um,
Okay, we
size,
have size, right?
color, if they have different colors.
Uh-huh. They could
Hmm.
have right? Oh, hold on.
Um,
I'm so used to
hmm,
I'm so used to British
fin,
spellings. All right, what else?
British.
Yeah, I did that earlier.
Um, hold on, I'm trying.
All right.
Let me look at what a trap looks like.
Sure. Take
Um, may maybe like hmm, age, if you can
Okay.
figure out an age.
Yeah, we can. We possibly could, so we'll put that in. We could put gender, right? Okay. So for
Hmm.
now,
Oh yeah.
we'll stick with these four. Okay. Which ones of these four are numbers? Can be assigned numbers.
Age and
So
size.
these are numerical. This is also numerical, right?
Hmm.
Now this means that
Hmm.
these, um, later on, if you're gonna do this and do a computer program and everything, you can assign numbers to these. But generally speaking, you don't, right? So what we could say that this is not
Hmm.
non-numerical, right? Uh,
Uh
or
huh.
in fact, I'm not going to use that word non-numerical anymore. I'm going to use the term uh, quantitative. qualitative rather. Okay, qualitative,
Qualitative.
because it's a quality, right? Comes from the word quality.
Mm-hmm.
Now here, the
Yep.
gender is also qualitative, right?
Mm-hmm.
Qualitative. So this is again. So let's go back to the notes. Let's try to figure out which one is which. Which one is numerical, and which one is categorical. Which one is qualitative, and which one is quantitative.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the idea here is if you can
This one
assign a
is
number to it.
numerical.
Yeah, go ahead. Which one's numerical? I'll lock this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this one. New. Oh shoot. The M.
Okay, correct. That would be the numerical.
Numerical. Yeah.
And then the other one's
Spelling.
definitely, and
And this is qualitative.
yeah, that's qualitative. Okay, it's all. In fact, if you
Mm-hmm.
now think about it, the answer for categorical is right there, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. All right. So, here are the two things now. As
We're
long as you
gonna
can,
rewrite that.
oops,
Oh
what
shoot.
just happened? Okay. All right. But the
That
I
was me. Sorry. I was trying to like.
stop. See if, oh no, you have to be the one to undo it. Ah, there we go. All right. So,
I put it back.
yeah. Okay, I see it now. Right. So that's the whole idea between these two. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the next bit is let's take a look at discrete versus continuous. Okay, sense
Mm-hmm.
in mathematical language, discrete would have a finite number of possible values. Continuous means there's an infinite
Mm-hmm.
number of possible data values. Okay, so let's go back to these ideas here. Okay, now I'm going to be more strict here, and I'm gonna say here that
Mm-hmm.
the age is in days. Okay, and this
Okay.
size would be in inches. Okay, which of those two,
Mm-hmm.
the age and the day, the age in days or the size in inches, would you have like? Okay, let's make it easier. Which one of these would have only in whole number values? Which ones could be whole number values, for example?
Age days.
Okay, age of days. Sorry, I'll use green here. So this is whole number values, right? In other words, there's a maximum possible value as
Mm-hmm.
well. A fish cannot live infinitely long, right? So there's a max possible value or a
Uh huh.
maximum age. So what does this mean?
Yeah.
This combined would be
Mm-hmm.
finite possible values, right? But here,
Mm-hmm.
in the size in inches, this has an infinitely many number of values. So this has infinite. Okay. Now, why do we say that? Why do we have infinite? Because let's say that
Mm-hmm.
a trout can grow to about a foot long, right? So if you think about it this way, you have zero and
Yeah.
then you have 1 foot, so 12 inches, right? Now, in between these values, you can have a
Mm-hmm.
1 inch fish, a 2 inch fish, all the way to the no matter how many inches there are, all the way to 12 inches, right? But then again, you could have possible values between.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you can fill in this line. That's why you have an infinite number of values. And therefore,
Mm.
which one of these would now be discrete and which one would be continuous? So the age, in this case, the age in days would be discrete.
Um, age is discrete and
Okay,
size is continuous.
right. So this is discrete, this is continuous. Okay, if this can be graphed with dots, okay, discrete values.
Hello.
Okay, hold on. Again, discrete values can be
Yeah,
grouped with
glitching a
dots.
little bit.
Okay, I'm sorry. I think it's my internet, but I'll get to that later. I'll try to fix that in a while. Okay. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because
All right.
it's been raining over the past 2 days here, and when it rains, everybody's internet gets glitchy. Right. So here, if it's continuous, the tip here, this
Mm-hmm.
has to be graphed with a line. Yeah, it's glitching. Even my writing doesn't normally look this bad, so I'm definitely glitching. Okay, in a line. Okay, there we go. All right, so again, if you can graph it with dots, it's discrete. If you have to graph it with a continuous line, it's continuous. Okay. All right. Um.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you let's do that exercise real quick on page 2, or do you just wanna go straight into continuing the notes?
We'll try the exercise. Yeah.
Okay, let's try a quick exercise. I'll just ask two of the things here, not out of the one, two, six.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the six things here, let's take a look at two. All right, and what's taking so long to paste? Okay, so anyway, let's take a look. I'll just ask you now. How about height? What do you think about height? Is it categorical, discrete, or continuous quantitative?
Um, it is numerical and continuous.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. How about a student's favorite subject?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. It finally loaded.
Is yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's categorical and discrete.
Now, categorical, you don't have to qualify it into discrete or continuous anymore. It's just categorical.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
All right. Great. Um, how about the last one here? The number of televisions in a household.
Hmm. Um.
Again, so categorical, discrete, or continuous.
Quality. Oh, number. Um. Continuous. Um. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Discrete.
All right. It's not continuous. It's discrete. Okay.
Oh. Oh, discrete. Yeah.
Yeah. Why is it discrete? Because you can definitely count televisions. You cannot have, you
Mm-hmm.
don't really have half a TV, so to speak, right? You don't, if
Mm-hmm.
somebody would be going out and asking this question to different houses, the answers would probably not include broken TVs, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so you get the idea. So the another way you can
Mm-hmm.
think about it is if you can actually count the values, then yes, it's discrete. If you cannot count the other possible number of values, then it's continuous. Okay. All right.
Mhm.
All right. So let's go on to this next one here. Uh, okay. What are you doing? I'm curious over that. I hear this scratching sound over there.
I just. Oh, sorry. I was just like I just have like a pencil and paper, and I'm just kind of just like. Shh.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Sorry.
Never mind. Never mind. I'm just asking. I'm curious. Not if nothing else, it's just me being curious. All right. So okay. So what
It's
we
alright.
have, what we're gonna look at here is now what we call a dot plot. Okay. Uh, basically, to do a dot plot
Mhm.
while it's loading, to do a dot plot, all you really have to do with this is you take your number of books or your data. You take your data, and then you basically just form a number line essentially, and then on that number line for each particular number you put how many dots there are, one dot for each of the numbers there. Okay, so all right, so here's the example.
Mhm.
Okay, now in this case you will see that we only have one here, right? So that's why we have one dot for one here. But if we look here in two, oh, by the
Mhm.
way, this data has been arranged in order already. If you
Mhm.
look here in two, there are three twos, and that corresponds to the three dots here in two. In three, how many do we have? One, two, three, four threes,
Mhm.
and therefore four dots.
Four. Yep.
And the same for the other numbers there.
Mhm.
Okay, so a dot plot is pretty
Yep.
straightforward. Okay, so, okay, let's fill in the blanks here. What's the
Mhm.
first blank? Each data value represents or is represented with a blank above the number line.
Dot.
It's a dot. Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me. All right.
Mhm.
Okay. All
Bless
right.
you.
Thank you. All right. Let's move on. Let's continue. So the dot plot shows the now. There is a term we will need to use here, but let's take a look. Again, you see that this is one, this is only one. Two, three twos, therefore three twos. Then four threes, we have
Mhm.
four threes here, and so on, right? Now, it says here, and this is a really good word to choose here, reading frequency. Basically, if you think about this, let's go back. Okay, quick question. Have you learned waves in physics before? Have you learned
We recently learned it.
Okay. So what's one property of a wave that's really that you know what's that's related to this? It's the frequency, right? So if you go back to that
Mhm.
definition of to the definition of frequency in physics, what is it? So in physics, frequency is what?
On.
Okay, what's a frequency
Hold
in
on.
physics?
My notes.
If you don't if you have to check your
I
notes, I
was
can
I,
just
I
tell you.
almost I almost confused it with amplitude. Hold on.
Okay, all right. Go ahead, check your notes, but if you just want me to tell you, it's fine here.
Can you tell me?
Okay, I'll just tell you. Frequency is the number
Yeah.
of oscillations
Oh yeah.
per unit time, right?
Mhm.
Now, if you look at this, frequency is counting. If you the idea here is the main idea is you are counting something, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. Now, this is something I actually want to say what frequency is. Now, if you relate this to everyday English, you would say you could probably be asked, how frequently do you go to the library? It's the same idea. You're counting how many times you go, right? frequency in mathematics means the total count. Okay, so in our case, our frequency for 2 is 3, and our frequency for,
3.
yeah, our frequency for 3 is, let's go now to this
Mm-hmm.
blank here. The dot plot shows the what? This shows the frequency.
Huh, and you like glitched out for a second.
Okay.
Frequency.
Mm-hmm.
You like glitched out while you were saying that, and I was just like, huh?
Okay, now, yeah. Okay, let me check the stream if it's getting better. The stream is quite bad right now. I'm losing 70% of my frames today.
Ooh.
All right. I want to see what the
Yeah.
video kind of looks like later. But anyway, let's move on. So this part's clear what the
Alright.
frequency is, okay? Now, let's just take a look at these two bits because this is given.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you're doing a dot plot,
Mm-hmm.
actually, it's not just a dot plot. Whatever graph you're making, it's always a good idea to include a title and an appropriate scale. Okay? Which is what we do in graphs anyway, right? Now, the
Mm-hmm.
second thing about dot plots is you can use this for small
Yeah.
sets of data and you always use it for discrete data. So both of these, okay? Both can be used for dot plots.
Mm-hmm.
Dot plots can be used for both, right? Okay, is everything clear so far?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Hold on. Hold on. I have to sneeze again. Hold on.
Alright.
Okay. Got it. All right, got it. All right, thank you. All right, so
Mm-hmm.
dot plots done. And again, you use that
Yeah.
for discrete data and for small plots. Okay. If you have a bigger set of data, it could still be useful, but there's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be an easier way to do it as well. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. So again, let's go back here. What is frequency? What is frequency again?
It's the it's the amount of times per like data set.
Okay. So you
Like
okay.
there's
All right. Okay. All
Hi.
right. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
That means you get it. We just need to actually
Yeah.
say it in the more technical manner,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay. So
Okay. Yeah.
what's the technical way of saying frequency? Uh frequency. Okay. Is that the best way to say it? I think at this level, I think the way you said it's already okay. So we can just, all right, I'll just say it here. Frequency. This is the number of times uh, a data point appears.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So let's do a bit of practice now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just do a quick, just one of these. So let's take a look at this particular bit of practice exercise. Okay. So in this case, it's not pasting. Hold on. Let me try that again. Okay. So, uh, all right. While that's loading here, let me try to look at something right now.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. That's taking its time here. Uh, there we go. Okay, so the amount of time for 26 students spending their time on their phones is recorded there. So all we have to do here is create a dot plot of this data. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. Go ahead and do. This is gonna take a while, so yeah, I think I'll just do it quick, and then let's.
Okay, so we put 0, 12 there.
Uh-huh. All right. Good.
We are gonna ignore this last part. So it's just like
Okay.
-1, -2,
Okay.
so forth.
All right. Let's make it even
And
easier and
then,
just say do this. Then disregard that. Right. Okay. Which one?
mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, my tip for doing this is to start with the highest frequency. So which number has the highest frequency here? Looks like either 7 or 8 to me, right?
um, yeah, 7 or 8.
All right. So you start with that and
One,
then,
two,
okay,
3, 4.
great. That looks good. Okay, good.
And then 6 has 3. 9
Okay.
has 3.
Uh-huh. All right. Stop
10
right there.
has 3.
Stop right there first for 9 and 6. Okay. I
Mm-hmm.
know it's hard to do this on the screen, but let me just point it out so when you do this on paper, you see what's happening. Make sure that all of these lines here are same height. All right. So you see that this dot and this dot are a bit higher than the rest.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So just that. But aside from that, go ahead, continue.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Boom. 5, 2, 2,
Uh huh. Two, four.
1.
Okay.
Boom.
Okay. So okay, I'll just ask you one question. So I want you to
Me.
describe the data right now. How can you describe this data? Okay.
Um. So
All right.
around. Oh,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
most students spend about 7 to 8 hours on their phones.
Okay. So that's one interpretation.
I think it's hours.
Hours. Yes, because here, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Most
Yeah.
students spend. Now, is that really the case? Because think about it. That's only 8 students spending their time spending 7 or 8 hours on their phone. That's only 8 students. There, but we have a total of 26. So that
Mm-hmm.
kind of means that there are 18 students who are not spending their time 7 or 8 hours of their time on their phones, right?
Mm.
So you can't really say that most
Mm-hmm.
students spend 7 or 8 hours
Mm-hmm.
on their phone,
The
right?
most common.
Most common,
Mm-hmm.
yes. So instead of saying this, you say 7 and 8 hours are the most common, right? Most common
Mm-hmm.
times. Okay. Now, another thing that you can see here is
Mm-hmm.
the data um, centralized. I'm gonna say it this way first. Is the data
Mhm.
centralized? And then the other question that we can ask here is the data spread out? Okay. Now we will be talking later about what the specific terms spread out. Again, so we're going to talk about what these terms or what are the qualities that would be used to predict centralized and if the data spread out. But we can talk about it right now by looking at the data. Centralized simply means if you look at all of your
Mhm.
data, does it look like there's like the graph's center is the same as the data center, so to speak, the middle of the data. So is actual
Yeah.
center same as uh center of data, right?
Mhm.
So that's the first. Are the points close to each other or far from each other? Or close to each other or not?
Um, they're close besides 0, but
Okay, so you can say that 0 is not close, but everything else seems to be close, right? So in this case, now 0,
mhm.
I'm just gonna say this now. This could be a weird point, right? Or a strange point.
Mhm.
Now, a strange point. Let's just take a look at what this means. Oh, by the way, this is there's a name for this, and this is called an outlier because it lies outside of the main data. Okay.
Mm.
Now, one thing about outliers
Mhm.
in mathematics, yes, outliers are gonna be there, and most of the time you will ignore outliers when you're analyzing averages, whatever the averages are. You're analyzing everything else, okay? But in real life, does an outlier necessarily mean it's a bad thing or a good thing? It
Mhm.
depends on context, okay? So that 0 there, all we can say
Mhm.
about that 0, mathematically speaking, is it's an outlier. We cannot say whether that 0 is a good thing or a bad thing, okay? All right. So,
Mhm.
all right. So what's the term for centralized data? This is now what's called this normal distribution. Okay. And then this other one, spread out.
Mhm.
The term here would be the deviation. Okay. Of course, there are many types of deviation, so we put here the standard deviation. Okay. Actually, no. Let's
Okay.
okay.
Yep.
Now the standard part, I'll just put that in bracket
Oh.
because that's one thing that we can look at because it is actually defined. But for now, we'll call it the deviation,
Mhm.
right? So that's the
Okay.
second bit, and I've kind of touched that. All right. The next part we're gonna look at is now what if you have another kind of data? All right. Let's
Mhm.
take a look now at this kind of data. If you have okay, now there one thing you can do with graphs is if you want to graph all of your data, you use the dot plot, right? But again, that's not always the best way
Mhm.
to do things because what if you have a lot of data and then what happens to that data is uh, you have it's continuous or it's really a large set of data, right? So, okay, while that's loading, an example for
Mhm.
okay, the example we have here on your notes is test scores, right? Now, if you think about this, test
Uh huh.
scores actually if they're gonna be expressed in percentages, test scores can actually be continuous, right? Okay. Now,
Yeah.
whenever you have that, then the or if you have a large set of data, it's gonna be hard to do dot plot. So what you're gonna do here is you're gonna use what's called a histogram. Okay,
Mhm.
a histogram is basically a bar graph.
Mhm.
Okay, now it's already said here, right there on that.
Like the.
Okay, okay. Now instead of doing
Mhm.
it one by one, what we can do is I'm going to put a value here. Let's say this is out of 100. I'm gonna put 10, 20, 30. I'll just put the even values because I don't think I have a space here. Or let me zoom in a bit. But I'll put in the even values only. Yeah. So this is gonna be
Mhm.
20. This is gonna be 40,
Mhm.
60, 80, and 100 right? Now, what I could do with this graph, and I'm going to just look here, is I'm gonna look for the scores from 99, no, not 99, from 91 to 100. 91 to 100. Okay? So from
Mhm.
91 to 100, I would see how many? One, two, let's cross them out. One, two, three, four, five, six, right? So one, two, three, four, five, six. So what I'm gonna do from the scores of 90 to 100 is I'm gonna graph that like so. Okay? So you see what I'm doing? I'm not graphing by individual values
Mhm.
anymore. I'm graphing across the interval of 90 to 100. All right. Can you do the next one from 80
Mhm.
from let's do this now from 80 to 89. From 80 to 89. How many scores are there from
Mhm.
80 to 89?
There are. So there's one here,
Uh-huh.
one here,
Uh-huh.
one here,
3. All right.
and that's 3.
That's 3. So where would we put that?
Hmm?
We'll use a different you can use a different color for now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so by the way, I put 6 here because this is
Um.
6. So this is 4 and this is 2.
Okay.
All right? So
Boom.
okay, good try, but it's in the wrong spot. You
Oh,
you move it over to the right of the line. Yeah? To the right of 80. There we go.
you there?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
All right. How about the next one? Let's do this to the third
Okay.
one. 70 to 79.
70 to 79.
Uh-huh.
So there is one, two, three, four,
You missed
five.
one. There we go. 5. So,
Found out how to make the cool
okay,
rectangle.
great. Well, yeah, I should have done that myself. All right, let me do that real quick for the first one.
Okay, I'll fix that.
Now, I'll do that for the first one.
And boom.
There we go.
Okay.
Oops, there's no fill. Hold on. How do you do that with the fill?
You gotta do like the paint roller. You gotta click also the paint roller too.
Ah, I see. Got it, got it. Right there. Let's try that out.
Yeah.
All right, great. Okay, so let's not do the rest, but you get the idea, right? Okay, so let's take a look now at the first part of the notes. A
Yeah,
histogram
and it's
is,
also just 2.
yeah, most of them are 2, right?
Okay.
All right, so let's take a look at this one now. Let's complete the
Yeah.
notes. A histogram is a bar style data display showing the frequency of data measured over, what's the word here? What do we call each one of these?
A graph.
What do we call each one of these now from 70 to
unit
79, and then 80 to 89, and then
from
90 to
70
100, or 90 to 99, for example.
groups,
This groups, yes,
range,
that's a nice word to use.
range
Range is
groups. Oh, okay.
range is not a good word because we have defined the range for something else. Okay, the word here is interval.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, oh yeah. That's an interval. That's a nice word.
Okay, all right, so that's the word we will use here for histograms. Now, the one thing you notice, I do not make the interval random. I always say 70 to 79, 80 to 89, 90 to, this one's a bit different, 90
Hmm.
to 100, because there are 100 scores, right? But you see, the next set would be 60 to
Yeah.
69. Then the set after that would be 50 to 59, and so on. So
Hmm.
what do you notice about the width of the interval? In other words, what's the like the minimum and maximum values for the interval? For each of them, we're talking the same numbers. From 70 to 79, that's 10 numbers, right?
Hmm.
Then from 60 to 69, that's 10 numbers again. And 80 to 89, that's 10 numbers.
Yeah.
So in other words, each interval width must be the
Hmm.
what? Must be the same.
The same.
All right.
Yeah.
They must be the same. All right. This
Can't have
one.
anything weird.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How about this part here?
Hmm.
Always blank the graph and blank both axes. This is the same as the previous one. So always
Um, label.
label. That's gonna go here. And then always
Hmm. Label. Oh,
label as well, right?
title.
Put the
Oh yeah,
title,
you
right?
label.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Always include the title.
Yeah.
In other words, always label it, right? All right, let's just put that as well. Label.
Hmm.
Okay. And then
Label.
same thing. This one's been discussed, and this is what we do again. So histograms are often used with either large data sets, whether discrete or continuous, or we just use it with continuous data. Either way. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. So questions on histograms?
No,
All
they're
right.
good.
I'll give you a.
Histo.
Okay. I still haven't figured out why it's called a histogram, because it doesn't have a history to it, so to speak.
Oh,
But
wait.
that
What does
dot
histo mean?
uh histo. I wanna see that now. Etymology of histogram. Hold on waiting for the question.
Think alone.
I know the gram part is right. The gram section is to right.
Hmm.
Mast or web. Web. Okay. All right.
Huh.
All right. So here's the
It
question.
loaded.
Yep, here's the question. So determine the sets of data where you could use a histogram instead of a dot plot. So which ones would be used? Would a histogram be more useful?
Okay. Um, the average daily temperature for Albany, New York.
Mm-hmm.
Boop.
Okay.
Over a month.
Daily temperatures over a month.
Height of a state.
Statewide. Mm-hmm. And the last one.
Fishing. 100
Finishing times for 125
random
randomness.
athletes were 100. I don't know about. I don't know about my last two
Okay.
ones though. So
All
yeah.
right. Correct answers are definitely daily temperatures. They could have different values for a year. All of your values, right? So in this case, this is for what? Large set
Mhm.
of data,
Mhm.
large set of data or continuous data? Which one is it?
Yeah.
This is more for large set. Okay.
Continuous.
This is also continuous, right?
Oh.
Okay. Both of these are correct. Now for daily temperatures
Yeah.
over a month, that's 30 values. That's not a lot, right? So so
Ah. Yeah.
okay. 30 is arguably a lot or not so much depending on how you look at it, right? We could argue that this is a large set.
Mhm.
So this is okay, right?
Mhm.
So this is also okay. This
Okay.
one definitely no the results of rolling two dice over and over. Um this is a question mark because it doesn't say how many times you're gonna roll the dice. Okay. But
Mm.
let's say you roll this like 1,000 times, then it would be better to do a histogram. But if you roll it only 10 let's say 20 times, it would be better to
Yeah.
do a dot plot. Okay. Statewide, this is again a large set.
A dot graph. Dot plot.
Okay. And then 125,
Yeah.
again 125 arguably a lot, so it could be a large set, so possible. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll finish this with the last one because I think you
Mhm.
know this. uh what are the three ways to get an average, so to speak? What are the
An
three?
average.
Yeah. It,
When you
okay.
add everything together and then divide about how many things
Okay,
there are.
let's say you have n1, n1,
Um.
n2, n3, all the way to some number ni. Okay, the average would be n1 plus n2 plus n3
Mhm.
all the way to ni, right? Divided by I, as you said, right? Now we
Mhm.
do have a name for this in statistics, and
Yeah.
this is the last thing we'll do
Yep.
today. Yeah, this is the mean. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, uh,
Mean.
mm-hmm. So the mean is the average that we all know and love. Okay. Now, let's say,
Mhm.
that some of these values are not unique. Okay, some values are repeated. Are repeated. Okay. So in other words, it could be that n1 equals n2, right? And also, let's say that this list is arranged
Mhm.
in increasing order.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, there are three ways to get some sort of meaning with these things. Okay, so the first one's the mean, the second one is the median, and the third one is the mode.
Mhm.
Okay, the median is literally
Yeah.
literally the middlemost
The middle.
middle value when arranged, right? When values are arranged.
Mhm.
Okay, and the mode is the most frequent value. Okay. All right. So we'll end it here because I think you know this already, so you
Mhm.
can do this next part of the notes. We're actually on page 6 already on the notes.
Yep.
All right, great. So you can do
Ah.
this.
Okay.
You can do
Yeah.
this, and then the rest we can do on the next meeting. All right, if you haven't done so yet in class.
Mhm.
All right,
All right. I'll probably be asking you about. I'll be talking to you about
the second one.
finals.
Finals. Go ahead. What do you want to say about it before we end today?
Yeah.
When are your finals?
Um. It's like, hold on. I know when finals end. I just don't remember when finals start.
Oh,
Um, it starts June 10th, I
so
think, or June 11th. One of those two.
all right. Now here's the deal. On the 14th, we're flying back to the Philippines for a school break. So that means I won't be available from the 14th for about a
Okay.
month after that. Okay. So yeah, for
Yeah, I'm gonna be not available during June. I'm not gonna be available during June either because I'm traveling a lot.
oh, all right. In that case, we should be fine with that as well. All right. So either way, let's just try to get ready for your finals, and then hopefully we can
Yep.
cover as much as we can. All right. All right. So is that it,
Yep.
Ariana?
Okay.
Is there anything else?
Mhm.
Okay.
Nope.
No. All right. So we can end it here today, and I'll see you again next week. All right. I'll see you then. Bye bye now, Ariana.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye bye. Have a good day.
Bye.
Okay, so that's the end of the lesson. So yep, we had Ariana today. Yeah, we have. I'm having internet. I think it's really because of you know being here where I am. What happens is whenever it rains, and it was raining yesterday, uh, internet connections everywhere become unstable. It doesn't really change with the provider. All providers get issues with internet services when it rains for some reason here where I am. So I just hope that at least some of some of part of the lesson was able to be streamed. But anyway, so with that we'll end today's lesson. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We are on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and on Twitch. So please follow us on whatever social platform you would like to use. And with that, I bid you all a good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. And stay freaky, everyone. Bye bye now.